It all began with nothing. No sky, no earth, only endless chaos. From this formless abyss emerged the first presence, Gaia, Mother Earth. Then came Nyx, the goddess of night, and Erebus, the spirit of shadow. And finally, Eros, the very spark of creation. Gaia brought forth Uranus, the sky. Together, they created the Titans, including the most dangerous of all, Cronus, the devourer of time. Cronus overthrew his father, but a prophecy haunted him. To escape his fate, he swallowed each of his children until his wife Rhea hid the youngest, Zeus. When Zeus returned, the Great War began. For 10 years, the cosmos shook as gods and titans battled. With divine weapons forged by the Cyclopes, the Olympians rose and the titans fell. A new world order was born. With the gods ruling from Olympus, humanity stepped into the story, shaping their world through courage and wisdom. In this video, we dive into the very beginning of Greek mythology, from the silent void of chaos to the first primordial beings that shaped the world. You'll see how darkness split from light, how Gaia emerged, and how the Age of Gods truly began.
Ever wonder how it all began? Not with a big bang, but with a big nothing. According to ancient Greek mythology, before there was anything, there was chaos. Picture it. Not just empty space, but a swirling, formless, boundless void. No up, no down, no sky, no earth, no time. Just an endless, dark, and disorderly abyss. It's a pretty mind-bending concept, right? A state of complete and utter uncertainty. But here's where the magic starts. From this profound darkness, the very first beings began to stir. Imagine from the heart of this nothingness, a presence emerges. This is Gaia, Mother Earth herself. She is the solid ground beneath our feet, the very foundation of the universe. She isn't just a deity, she is the source of all life. Within her she holds the towering mountains, the deep valleys, and the vast rolling seas. With her birth, a sense of order, the very rhythm of nature, begins to take shape in the endless void. Gaia is the first anchor in a sea of formlessness. But Gaia wasn't alone in her emergence. Alongside her, from the same primordial chaos, came Nyx, the goddess of night. If Gaia is the solid, tangible world, Nyx represents the deep, profound mystery of darkness. Think of the deep, silent stillness of midnight. That's Nyx's domain. She is the symbol of all the unknown forces, the secrets hidden in the shadows. And she didn't come by herself. With her was Erebus, the personification of deep darkness and shadow. Together, Nyx and Erebus embody the unseen, mysterious, and sometimes dangerous side of the brand new universe. They are the cosmic counterparts to the light and life that Gaia represents. So now we have earth, night, and shadow. But something crucial is still missing. What is it that drives creation forward? What pulls things together instead of letting them drift apart in the void? From that same initial chaos, another powerful being arose, Eros. Not the chubby, arrow-shooting cherub you might be thinking of, but the fundamental principle of love, desire, and attraction. Eros is the cosmic force that ignites the spark of life, the creative energy that compels beings to come together and create something new. He's the universal glue, the driving impulse behind all generation and creation. So, in the vast, endless expanse of chaos, these first four primordial beings, Gaia, Nyx, Erebus, and Eros, begin to interact. Their very existence starts to weave a new reality. Chaos is no longer just an empty void. It has become the crucible of creation, the stage for the first cosmic drama. It's a beautiful, poetic idea, isn't it? That the universe didn't just appear, but was born from the interplay of fundamental forces. This dynamic sets the stage for everything that follows in Greek mythology. The story of creation is a story of harmony and conflict between these opposing forces. You have the stability of Gaia, the earth, contrasted with the boundless uncertainty of chaos. You have the darkness and mystery of Nyx and Erebus balanced by the life-giving light and the creative passion of Eros. Order versus disorder, darkness versus light, creation versus emptiness. This intricate dance of opposites is what gives the Greek mythological universe its richness, its vitality, and its timeless appeal. The foundations of the cosmos are laid not on simple good and evil, but on the complex and beautiful struggle between these elemental powers. It all starts not with a bang, but with a void, chaos. From this formless abyss, the first being emerged. This was Gaia, the Earth Mother, a vast and fertile entity who would become the very foundation of the universe. But Gaia wasn't alone for long. She longed for a partner to cover her, and from her own being she brought forth Uranus, the starry sky. Together, Gaia and Uranus, earth and sky, formed the first divine couple, their union a powerful symbol of creation itself. From this cosmic marriage came the first generation of gods, the mighty Titans. These weren't the human-like gods we often picture. They were primal forces, embodiments of the fundamental aspects of the universe. There was Oceanus, the great river that encircled the world. There was Hyperion, the lord of heavenly light, the very essence of the sun. And then there was Cronus, the youngest and most cunning, who represented the relentless, all-devouring nature of time. This era, the age of the Titans, was a wild and untamed period. The rules of the universe were still being written, and the world was shaped by raw, untethered power. The Titans weren't just a family. They were the building blocks of reality, and their interactions were filled with both creation and conflict. They carved out the oceans, set the sun on its course, and laid the very groundwork for the world we know. But this creative harmony was shattered by a growing darkness. Uranus, the Skyfather, grew to fear his own children. He despised the monstrous Cyclopes and the 100-handed Hecatoncheires, other children he had with Gaia, and he imprisoned them deep within her body, in the dark abyss of Tartarus. This act of cruelty caused Gaia immense pain and sowed the first seeds of rebellion. The balance of the cosmos was threatened by a father's tyranny. Heartbroken and enraged, Gaia pleaded with her Titan children to rise up against their father. But most were too afraid to challenge the ruler of the sky. Only one stepped forward, Cronus, driven by ambition and a desire for power. Gaia armed him with a great sickle made of the strongest flint, and together they plotted Uranus's downfall. This wasn't just a family quarrel. It was the first great war for control of the universe, a monumental struggle that would set the stage for everything to come. The conflict between Cronus and Uranus was a defining moment, a cosmic test of power that drew the first lines between order and chaos. The Titans, once just forces of nature, were now players in a game of celestial politics, caught in a web of ambition, betrayal, and a relentless quest for supremacy. Their story is a powerful reminder that before the structured world of the Olympians, there was a violent and chaotic struggle to establish any order at all. This primal war laid the foundation for the next great chapter in Greek mythology, the rise of the Olympians and the ultimate battle for control of the cosmos. The legacy of the Titans, their power, and their fall from grace would echo through the ages, a powerful tale of creation, rebellion, and the eternal cycle of power. Have you ever wondered how the gods of Olympus came to power? It wasn't a peaceful transition, let me tell you. It was a cosmic war, a family feud of epic proportions that shaped the very fabric of the universe. And today we're diving deep into the myth of the Titanomachy, the war that led to the rise of Zeus and the Olympian gods. Our story begins in an age of chaos, ruled by the mighty Titans. Their leader, Cronus, was the most powerful of them all. He had seized control by overthrowing his own father, Uranus. But with that victory came a chilling prophecy. One of his own children would do the same to him. Fear is a powerful thing, and it drove Cronus to an unimaginable act. As each of his children was born, he swallowed them whole, trapping them in the darkness of his stomach. Hestia, Demeter, Hera, Hades, Poseidon. One by one they were consumed, their destinies seemingly erased. But his wife Rhea couldn't bear it any longer. When their youngest son Zeus was born, she devised a desperate plan. She swaddled a large stone in blankets and presented it to Cronus. Blinded by paranoia, he swallowed the stone without a second thought, believing he had once again cheated fate. Meanwhile, The real infant Zeus was whisked away to the remote island of Crete, where he was raised in secret, nurtured by nymphs and protected by the wildness of the land. He grew up strong and clever, his heart burning with a desire for justice and vengeance for his stolen siblings. Once he reached adulthood, Zeus was ready to confront his father. With the help of the wise Titaness Metis, he tricked Cronus into drinking a special potion. It wasn't poison, but an emetic that forced him to disgorge everything he had swallowed. First came the stone, and then one by one out came Zeus's siblings, now fully grown and furious. The line was drawn. On one side stood Cronus and his fellow Titans, the old guard, representing a raw, chaotic power. On the other stood Zeus and his newly freed siblings, the Olympians, ready to fight for a new cosmic order. Thus began the Titanomachy, the Great War. For 10 long years, the universe trembled as gods and titans clashed. The earth shook, the seas boiled, and the heavens roared with the sounds of their battle. The Olympians fought from Mount Olympus while the Titans waged their war from Mount Othrys. The conflict was at a stalemate. The Olympians were powerful, but the Titans were ancient and incredibly strong. Zeus knew he needed more allies. He journeyed deep into Tartarus, the abyss of the underworld, and freed the Cyclopes and the Hecaton Kyries, the 100-handed ones who had been imprisoned there by Cronus. This was the turning point. The Cyclopes, masters of the forge, crafted incredible weapons for the gods. For Zeus they forged the thunderbolt, a weapon of immense power. For Poseidon they created the trident, capable of shaking the earth and seas. And for Hades they made the helm of darkness, which granted him invisibility. Armed with these divine weapons, and aided by the overwhelming force of the 100-handed ones who hurled mountains at the Titans, the tide of the war finally turned. The Olympians launched a final, devastating assault. In the end, the Titans were defeated. Their reign of chaos was over. Cronus and most of his allies were cast down into the eternal darkness of Tartarus, forever imprisoned. A new era had dawned. The 3 brothers, Zeus, Poseidon, and Hades, drew lots to divide the cosmos. Zeus became the king of the gods and the ruler of the sky and heavens. Poseidon claimed dominion over the vast seas and all its creatures, and Hades became the lord of the mysterious underworld, the realm of the dead. The other Olympians each took their place, governing everything from war and wisdom to love and the harvest. The rise of Olympus wasn't just a power grab, it was the birth of a new world order, one built on principles of justice, balance, and law, at least in theory. For humanity, this meant living in a world overseen and guided by these powerful, complex, and often very human-like deities. Their stories, their triumphs, and their flaws became the bedrock of Western culture, inspiring art, literature, and philosophy for thousands of years. The age of Titans was over and the age of Olympus had begun. Ever wondered what happened after Zeus and the Olympian gods finally brought order to the cosmos? The epic battles were over, but a new, more intricate story was just beginning. This is where we, humanity, step onto the stage of Greek mythology. The gods didn't just sit on Mount Olympus and watch from afar. Oh no, they were deeply involved in human lives. Acting like the ultimate directors of a grand play, they would reward, punish, and test mortals, making their presence felt in every aspect of life. For humans, this meant living with a mixture of awe and fear, always aware of the divine power that could bless or curse them at any moment. But this era also gave rise to a new kind of protagonist, the hero. These weren't just characters in a story. They were living embodiments of human potential and societal values. Think of Heracles, or as you might know him, Hercules. He was the poster boy for strength and courage, but his famous 12 labors were more than just feats of muscle. They were divine tests, pushing him to the absolute limit of human endurance. His story wasn't just about wrestling lions, it was about perseverance against impossible odds. Then there's Perseus, a hero who relied on more than just brute force. When he faced the horrifying Medusa, whose gaze could turn anyone to stone, he couldn't just charge in blindly. He had to use his wit, his cunning, and the divine gifts he received, like a reflective shield, to succeed. Perseus shows us that true heroism is a blend of bravery and intelligence, proving that a sharp mind can be just as powerful as a strong arm. His victory wasn't just a personal triumph, it was a testament to human ingenuity. And we can't forget Theseus, the hero of Athens. His tale is a bit different. When he volunteered to face the terrifying Minotaur in its labyrinth, he wasn't just seeking fame or glory. He was on a mission to save his city, to free its people from a gruesome tribute. Theseus embodies responsibility and justice. By slaying the beast and finding his way out of the maze, he became a symbol of leadership and civic duty, highlighting the idea that a true hero fights for the greater good of their society. These incredible stories of Heracles, Perseus, and Theseus are so much more than just ancient adventure tales. They are profound lessons wrapped in epic narratives. They teach us timeless values, the courage to face our fears, the wisdom to solve complex problems, the willingness to sacrifice for others, and the unwavering pursuit of justice. The constant interaction between the gods and these heroes transforms Greek mythology from a simple collection of divine dramas into a rich guide for human life. It's through these myths that ancient Greeks explored what it meant to be human. They weren't just entertainment. They were a mirror reflecting their own society, its moral codes and its cultural values. People looked to these heroes and saw archetypes of how to live, how to act, and what to strive for. The gods set the stage, but it was the heroes who showed humanity how to perform on it, navigating the complex relationship between mortal will and divine fate. So in the end, Greek mythology is this beautiful, sprawling tapestry. It weaves together the stories of the gods who rule the cosmos with the deeply personal experiences of humans and the extraordinary deeds of heroes. It's a legacy that explains not just the world, but ourselves. These narratives have been passed down for thousands of years, becoming the bedrock of Western literature, art, and philosophy. They continue to inspire and teach us, proving that the tales of gods and heroes are, and always will be, the stories of humanity itself. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this journey into mythology, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more stories from the ancient world. See you next time.